Your Lexus has features that sound amazing, features that impressed you when you test drove the car, features that seemed like luxury upgrades, features that made you think you were getting a premium vehicle. But here's the truth. Some of these features are quietly destroying your car's reliability. I'm talking about Lexus design choices that look good on paper, but fail in real life. Features that cost thousands to repair, systems that were poorly engineered and cause cascading problems. I've been a mechanic for 15 years. I've seen Lexus owners spend tens of thousands on repairs for problems caused by these stupid features. Features that could have been avoided if Lexus had just kept it simple. Today, I'm revealing the Lexus features and design choices that actively destroy reliability and lifespan. The features you should disable immediately if your car has them. The systems to avoid when buying a used Lexus. The luxury upgrades that turn into expensive nightmares. Some of these are on every Lexus, others are model specific, but all of them are quietly costing owners money and reliability. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which Lexus features are destroying your car and what to do about them. Stick around, because the most dangerous feature is one that sounds completely harmless, but it's destroying engines across the Lexus lineup right now. Let's get into it. Feature 1. Air suspension, the $5,000 nightmare. Here's feature number 1, air suspension. Lexus thought air suspension would be luxurious, smooth ride, adjustable height, fancy tech, but air suspension is a reliability disaster. Here's what happens. Air suspension uses air springs instead of traditional coil springs. These air springs are connected to an air compressor and electronic controls. Over time, the air springs develop leaks. The seals fail. The compressor burns out. When air suspension fails, your car sags. It sits on the bump stops. It's undrivable. Repair cost $3,000 to $5,000, sometimes more. The LS46 2008 to 2014 is the worst offender. Many LS owners report complete air suspension failure by 100,000 miles. The RX 350 and other models also have air suspension issues, though less severe. Here's the problem. You can't just convert to regular coil springs. The air suspension is integrated into the entire chassis and computer system. So when it fails, you're stuck paying the massive repair bill. Solution. Avoid Lexus models with air suspension. Buy models with traditional coil springs or magnetic suspension instead. If your car has air suspension, expect it to fail and budget accordingly. Feature 2. CVT transmission, the slipping killer. Here's feature number 2, CVT transmission. Some Lexus models use CVT, continuously variable transmission, instead of traditional automatics. CVT sounded great in theory. Smooth acceleration, no gear shifts, infinite gearing ratios. In practice, it's a nightmare for reliability. CVT transmissions fail prematurely. They develop shudder, they slip, they overheat. Some CVT Lexus transmissions have failed at 80,000 to 100,000 miles. CVT transmission replacement, $4,000 to $6,000. The hybrid Lexus models RX450H, ES300H use CVT, which is why hybrid Lexus models have more transmission problems than non-hybrid. Here's the problem. CVT transmissions are complex. They use hydraulic pressures and belts that wear out. They need special transmission fluid that costs more. When they fail, you can't just repair them. You need a complete replacement. Solution. Avoid CVT Lexus models. Stick with traditional automatic transmissions. 5-speed, 6-speed, 8-speed. The older automatics are bulletproof. The CVT is a disaster. Feature 3. Air suspension compressor, constantly failing. Related to air suspension is the air suspension compressor. This compressor constantly works to maintain air pressure in the suspension system, but it fails constantly. When it fails, the suspension can't maintain pressure. Your car sags. The compressor needs replacement. Compressor replacement. $1,500 to $2,500. And here's the worst part. Sometimes the compressor fails, and then the air springs fail too. Now you're replacing both. Total cost, $4,000 to $5,000. The LS460 suffers from chronic compressor failure. Solution: avoid air suspension. If you have it, inspect the compressor regularly and budget for replacement. Feature 4. Panoramic sunroof, the water leak trap. Here's feature number 4, panoramic sunroofs. They sound great. You get the luxury of open-air driving, lots of light in the cabin, but panoramic sunroofs are engineering nightmares. The sunroof mechanisms are complex. The seals fail. Water leaks into the cabin. Once water gets in, it damages electronics, causes mold, and destroys upholstery. Sunroof repair, $800 to $1,500. Water damage from sunroof leaks, $2,000 to $5,000. The more complex the sunroof, panoramic, dual-pane, retractable glass roof, the more likely it is to fail. Lexus owners with panoramic sunroofs report leaks at 80,000 to 120,000 miles. Solution: skip the panoramic sunroof when buying. If your car has one and it leaks, expect expensive repairs. Sunroof replacement is often required, not just seal repair. Feature 5. Magnetic suspension, complex and expensive to repair. Here's feature number 5, magnetic suspension or electronically controlled suspension. Sounds futuristic, sounds advanced, sounds reliable. It's not. Magnetic suspension uses electromagnets to adjust suspension stiffness in real time, but electromagnetic coils fail. Electronic controls glitch, sensors malfunction. When magnetic suspension fails, your ride quality goes bad. Sometimes the suspension locks up. Magnetic suspension repair, $1,200 to $2,500. The problem is there are multiple electronic components. Any one of them can fail. And when one fails, the whole system often needs recalibration or replacement. Solution: stick with passive suspension or simple electronic adjustments. Avoid complex magnetic or air suspension systems. They're more trouble than they're worth. Feature 6. Direct injection, carbon buildup trap. Here's feature number 6, direct injection. Lexus started using direct injection engines around 2010. Direct injection is more efficient, more powerful, better fuel economy, but it comes with a severe downside: carbon buildup on intake valves. Because fuel is injected directly into the combustion chamber, it doesn't wash over the intake valves, so carbon deposits build up. Rough idle, hesitation, power loss. Valve cleaning, $1,000 to $1,500. Some Lexus owners need valve cleaning twice during their car's life. The IS250, GS300, and other direct injection engines are notorious for carbon problems. Solution: use quality fuel and fuel system cleaner regularly. Replace your PCV valve every 50,000 miles. Install an oil catch can. Do carbon removal before symptoms appear. Feature 7. Infotainment system complexity, electrical gremlins. Here's feature number 7. Overly complex infotainment systems. Lexus packed their newer models with screens, touch controls, voice commands, and integration with phones. Sounds great until it fails. Infotainment system failures are common. Screens go blank, buttons stop responding, voice commands malfunction. Infotainment system replacement, $1,500 to $2,500. The problem is, these systems are integrated with your climate control, navigation, audio, and other critical functions. When the infotainment fails, sometimes other systems fail too. Solution: avoid cars with overly complex infotainment. Prefer simpler systems that are proven and reliable. Don't pay for features you don't need. Feature 8. Hybrid battery system. Expensive when it fails. Here's feature number 8. Hybrid battery systems. Hybrid Lexus models, RX 450h, ES 300h, etc., have battery packs that degrade over time. While modern Lexus hybrid batteries are fairly reliable, they're also expensive when they fail. Hybrid battery replacement, $4,000 to $8,000. Most Lexus hybrid batteries last 150,000 to 200,000 miles before significant degradation. Some fail earlier if you live in a hot climate or charge frequently. When the battery fails, fuel economy drops dramatically. Sometimes the hybrid system stops working. Solution: if buying a used hybrid Lexus, check the battery health. Ask the seller about battery performance. Budget for replacement by 200,000 miles. Feature 9. Mark Levinson audio system. Over-engineered junk. Here's feature number 9. Mark Levinson audio system. Lexus uses Mark Levinson premium audio in some models. It sounds great when it works, but it's over-engineered junk that fails constantly. Mark Levinson amplifier failures, $1,500 to $2,500. Speaker failures, $500 to $1,500 per speaker. The problem is, Mark Levinson components are proprietary. You can't just replace them with aftermarket parts. You have to buy Lexus parts, which are expensive. Solution: disable Mark Levinson if yours is problematic. Upgrade to aftermarket audio, or just use the basic system. If you made it this far, then consider liking this video, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing to my channel. This helps me bring you more honest car advice. And if you want to know which Lexus features to avoid and which ones are reliable, click the link in the description to grab my 500,000-mile car maintenance blueprint. It covers every Lexus feature, every potential problem, and how to keep your car running reliably without being destroyed by expensive repairs. Feature 10. Adaptive headlights, technology that breaks. Here's feature number 10. Adaptive headlights. Adaptive headlights turn with the steering wheel and adjust height based on load. Sounds amazing. Sounds like it improves safety. But adaptive headlight motors fail constantly. The bulbs burn out. The aiming sensors malfunction. Adaptive headlight repair, $800 to $1,500. Replacing adaptive headlights, both, $1,500 to $2,500. The problem is, adaptive headlights are complex. There are motors, sensors, and control modules. Any one of them can fail. And when one fails, the whole system often needs professional recalibration or replacement. Solution: choose simpler fixed headlights or basic automatic on/off. Avoid the complexity of adaptive systems. Feature 11. Electronic parking brake. Fails and traps your car. Here's feature number 11. Electronic parking brake. Electronic parking brake sounds convenient. One button, no handbrake to pull. But electronic parking brakes fail. The motor burns out. The solenoid fails. When it fails, you can't release the parking brake. Your car is stuck. Electronic parking brake repair, $800 to $1,500. The problem is, electronic systems are more prone to failure than mechanical systems. Moisture can corrode the solenoid. The motor can burn out from excessive use. Solution: prefer traditional mechanical parking brakes. They rarely fail. They're simple and reliable. Feature 12. Automatic transmission with paddle shifters, overcomplication. Here's feature number 12. Automatic transmission with paddle shifters. Paddle shifters let you manually select gears. Sounds sporty, sounds fun, but paddle shifters add complexity to the transmission control system. More sensors, more solenoids, more electronics. When they fail, the transmission can malfunction. Sometimes it goes into limp mode. Paddle shifter repair, $500 to $1,500. The problem is, paddle shifters are unnecessary complexity on top of an already complex transmission. Solution: disable paddle shifters if you don't use them. Don't pay extra for features you won't use. Feature 13. Customizable drive modes. Stresses components. Here's feature number 13. Customizable drive modes. Lexus lets you customize throttle response, suspension stiffness, transmission shift points, and steering effort. Sounds great, but constantly switching between modes stresses components. The transmission shifts harder in sport mode. The suspension works harder. The engine burns more fuel and experiences more stress. Over time, using sport mode constantly accelerates wear. Solution: use normal mode for daily driving. Avoid sport mode unless necessary. Gentle driving extends component life. Feature 14. Touchscreen controls. Eyes off road. Here's feature number 14. Touchscreen controls for climate, audio, and navigation. Touchscreen controls look modern, but they're bad for safety, and they distract you. You have to take your eyes off the road to adjust temperature or change audio. This causes accidents and is a liability. Additionally, touchscreen systems fail frequently. Same problems as infotainment systems. Solution: prefer physical buttons for critical controls. Use simple, non-distracting interfaces. Why Lexus includes these features? Lexus includes these features because they sound luxurious and impressive. Customers see air suspension, adaptive headlights, Mark Levinson audio, and they think the car is premium. But these features are often engineering compromises. They sound good in marketing, but fail in real-world reliability. Lexus profits from selling these features. When they fail, customers pay for expensive repairs. It's not that Lexus is evil. It's just that they prioritize selling features over building reliability. The simple features that actually last. Here are the features that actually improve reliability. Simple coil spring suspension, proven technology, lasts 200,000 plus miles. Traditional automatic transmission, 5-speed, 6-speed, 8-speed. Bulletproof if maintained. Basic lighting system, simple bulbs, easy to replace. Physical buttons and knobs, reliable, don't break, easy to operate. Mechanical parking brake, simple, rarely fails. Basic audio system, gets the job done. No fancy components to break. Passive suspension, no electronics, no air pumps, just springs and dampers. Simple single-pane sunroof, if you need one. Better than panoramic. The bottom line, keep it simple. Here's the truth. Complexity kills reliability. Every extra feature adds another system that can fail. Every electronics upgrade adds another component that can malfunction. The simplest Lexus models last the longest. The ones with basic features and minimal electronic. A 2004 ES330 with basic suspension, basic transmission, basic audio, and basic lighting will outlast a 2015 LS460 with air suspension, CVT transmission, Mark Levinson audio, and adaptive headlights. The old car is simpler. The simple car lasts forever. When buying a used Lexus, choose the model with the fewest features. Skip the air suspension. Skip the CVT transmission. Skip the panoramic sunroof. Skip the Mark Levinson audio. Get basic suspension, basic transmission, basic audio, basic lighting. Your Lexus will be more reliable. Your maintenance will be cheaper. Your car will last decades instead of years. And if your Lexus already has these stupid features, disable them if possible. Avoid using the features that you know are problematic. Minimize stress on complex systems. Your Lexus will thank you with better reliability and longer lifespan. And if you want to know how to maintain a Lexus properly and avoid the expensive problems caused by these stupid features, click the link in the description to grab my 500,000-mile car maintenance blueprint. It covers every Lexus feature, which ones to avoid, which ones to disable, and exactly how to maintain your car so it lasts hundreds of thousands of miles without being destroyed by expensive repairs from failed systems. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to watch this next video as we're sharing insider tips to help you cut repair costs and keep your car running like new.